All right, y'all, we're live. Hey, Black Connecticut, my people. Thanks for joining us today. I'm going to wait a little bit longer to see if some people come in. We currently don't see anybody in the chat. So if you are in the chat, just say something so we can see you because I don't currently see you right now. I want to make sure that we know who's in the chat so we can talk to you. All right. I still don't see anybody coming in yet. I'm going to give it a little more time so that once people start coming in, we can start talking. But I don't see anybody just yet. Let's give it some time. And while we're waiting, say what you want to say in the chat. Talk your stuff. All right. We're going to give it a few more minutes. We're just going to wait and see. And if we don't see anybody just yet, I'm going to go ahead and continue. But I want to wait because I want to make sure that everybody gets this live from the beginning. For those of you who have been following Black Connecticut on social, like Instagram, Facebook, and we're new on TikTok, and we do have a couple of YouTube videos, we appreciate it. But this is the first time we really get to speak. So let's chat, y'all. Okay, I don't see anybody coming in just yet. I want to give it a couple more minutes because I'm waiting for you. I can't wait to meet our fans. I can't wait to meet people who are just now discovering us. And I really want to see what you have to say about this chat because this is a really interesting topic. I mean, the 2020 United States Census. All right, we got somebody in the chat. Hi. What's going on? We're waiting for a couple more people to come in. Right now, I'm just going to share the link on our Facebook page. I know a lot of people have been waiting for this, and I'm not sure if everyone's getting the notifications. So I'm going to go ahead and share it on our Facebook page, and let's see who comes in the chat today. Now, where are you from, D? D, did you hear us? Write in the chat where you're from. We want to know. We want to know where our viewers are from. All right. Well, I could tell you a lot of the Black population in Connecticut is either from three different towns. There are some other towns, but it's primarily Hartford, Connecticut. Hartford has a very large Black population. And then there's New Haven. New Haven definitely has a large Black population as well. But then there's Bridgeport. Now, Bridgeport is the largest. It has the largest population in the state of Connecticut. It's the most populous city. For short, some people call it, from what I know, they call it Park City or they call it BPT. Okay, you're from Fairfield County. All right, Fairfield County in the building. That's right. Fairfield County. Okay. Now, we might have some questions. All right, Bridgeport. That's right. Okay, Bridgeport in the building. I see we have another viewer. We love to know where you're from. If you're not from Connecticut, just let us know what city and state you live in the country or outside of the country. We want to know where our viewers are from. All right, D said Park City, hashtag 203. Okay, I see you. Uh, in a couple more minutes, maybe just give it one more minute and then we're going to start. I'm not sure where the other people are. They might come in a little after. I don't know if everyone's having difficulty finding the link because it is a little hard to find. Again, this is our very first live stream. So we're happy that you get to be here with us. Like, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. That's right. Okay. Now, okay. We're just going to continue on, but I'm just going to go ahead and post this on our Facebook page so that people don't miss out on what's going on. Because I know we got a lot of fans on Facebook. A lot of people been wanting to interact with us, but we haven't really been doing live streams. So this is our very first live stream, and I'm really hoping we get more listeners because a lot of people said that they were going to show up, and I don't want to start without them. But it's all good. Look, the show must go on. So I went ahead and posted on our Facebook. Let's see who comes in. But we're going to continue from now. I do see some activity here in the Facebook. Wish I could show it to you guys, but I'd like to move forward now that we got an idea of who's here and what we're doing. Let's get into it. But one more thing before we do, who's seen the US 2020 census? If you've seen the results of the 2020 census, write a 1 in the chat. If you haven't, just write a 0. Okay, it's all right if no one has seen the census or, you might be a little shy. This is our first time, so welcome to Black Connecticut, my people. That's what I'm talking about. So we're just going to get into it because I see you guys are a little shy. And obviously, everyone's been talking about the 2020 census. And the major focal point has been the decline in the white population. As a result, they're calling this a win for people of color. And now a lot of Black people are seeing this as a win. But since here at Black Connecticut, we're all Black all the time, we'll be exclusively highlighting the numbers for the Black population. So you can determine how to feel about it on your own. Does anybody have any thoughts about the 2020 US Census? Do you feel like it's important? Have you taken the census? Were you confused about anything? I want to know what you're feeling. All right, it's cool. I could tell you how I was feeling. I was feeling overwhelmed. And here at Black Connecticut, we were all feeling overwhelmed because this is very interesting data here. Like a lot of young people don't follow data like the census, but we need to start. It is very eye opening. So, before we get into that, I just want to talk about some of the ways the information on the census is used. What is the census used for? Now, the census data, every year or so, we fill out that survey and it tells us about our demographic in the state and in the world. So, with this data, the United States uses it to determine where to build schools, hospitals, etc. Like if you're in a very populous city or a populous neighborhood, they would need a hospital there opposed to, say, a rural environment. Schools, public schools versus private schools. And, we'd love to get into some of that information. Oh, you're shocked? Dee says she's shocked. Yeah, we're a little shocked too, to be honest. We're a little shocked too because, I know people don't see Connecticut as a Black state, but I mean, there's definitely a population here. And I would love for us to be represented, but again, let's see what this census says. Let's see if this census says we're represented or if we're not. But before we do, I'm gonna hop on our Instagram page and see what our fans are up to because I know a lot of people on Instagram are really excited about it. They said that they were gonna attend. And again, this is my first time here, so I'm hoping that everybody's getting the link successfully because it's rather hard to get access sometimes. I've been told that, even from my own personal experience, when I'm on YouTube and I'm looking at videos or I'm waiting for videos, it takes such a long time for me to see what's going on. And, you know, sometimes the creator is live, but I'm just not seeing it. So I want to make sure that my people on Instagram, we got a large following on Instagram, is growing every day. I want to make sure people are seeing this. And we did share it on Facebook. I do see that we have some viewers coming in, and I want to make sure that our Facebook crowd is really engaged, and our Instagram crowd is on here too, because y'all gotta represent, whether it be for your city or whether it be for the social media platform that you use the most. So, not sure what's going on with IG, but we're going to continue on because you guys appear to be very interested in what's happening. And, this is obviously some big news. This is big because a lot of people are talking about it, and they're considering these census results to be the most diverse. A lot of people are saying that these census results have made it so that this is the most diverse that the United States has ever been. I see we have a couple more people coming in on a chat. I want to give you guys the opportunity to let us know where you're from, or if you have any thoughts about the census, because that's what we're talking about today. We're talking about the 2020 United States Census. And I want to know where you guys are from. If you're in Connecticut, we definitely want to know because we're Black Connecticut. If you're not in Connecticut, we still want to know because we want to know where our viewers are located, where you're watching us from. We want to give you the opportunity to rep your city and feel good and feel proud. So if you don't want to shout out your city, that's fine. We're still going to continue, and we're glad you're here. So we'd love to talk about really the census data, but before we do, I want to get more into this slide because I didn't really get to talk about it. And for the new people who are joining us, this is what the census is used for. Now, the census is used to determine where to build schools, hospitals, etc. It also helps the government decide how to distribute funds, like if you get a large grant, if the city or the state gets a large grant, it helps them determine who to allocate those funds to. Who is the most populous? Who's the most important? What areas are they located in? And their needs are obviously going to be a priority because they are represented in the numbers. Connecticut, as it is 70% white. So, it's hard to be represented in the numbers as a minority. However, life goes on. Another thing that the census data is used for is to pinpoint demographics to target, like for marketers and advertisers. When they're targeting a certain state or they're targeting a certain age range, they want to know where you're at in the world or in the country. In this case, in the state. So they will look at this data to determine how they should approach you. Like, are you interested in political issues? Are you interested in, you know, um, golf? Or how do you racially identify? What television shows you watch? What is it that affects you? What is it that impacts you? And most importantly, what is it that's going to get you to buy their product, whether it be the language you speak or whether it be the lifestyle you live? So that census data is very important. Last but not least, it identifies business trends. Just last year when we were on lockdown, there was a lot of businesses putting Black Lives Matter signs in their windows. Did anyone else see that? We saw a lot of businesses, whether they were Black or non-Black, putting in Black Lives Matter signs in their windows. And I thought it was interesting because when it comes time to find a business, sometimes it's like, you're looking for a Black business, but it's like, I guess they're just not there. And that's okay. But when you're not looking for a Black business, everybody's saying Black Lives Matter and they're marketing to Black people during such a difficult time where a lot of people lost their jobs. A lot of people were losing loved ones. So it's interesting how things are. And that's because it's a business trend. Sometimes businesses do things to stay relevant and top of mind in their customers' heads, whether that's hopping on the latest trends or that's appealing to the majority, even if it is not something that they represent. Okay, D says that's why it's so important for people to fill out the census forms. This is beneficial for our communities. You know, I'm glad you said that,
That's
D.
right.
Because if you follow our Instagram page, we actually had somebody comment under our ads saying that, well, it was a person, and based on their profile, sounded like they were mocking Black people and our inability to face the census man who comes to our door. So, some people do feel like Black people aren't represented because they're not filling out the census. While some people feel like this is just a case of some communities on the up and up, in other communities on the down and down. And the longer you stay on this live, the more you're going to learn about what is going on because we got the facts for you over here. We got the facts. And I'm trying to arm you with some knowledge today because it's very important to walk around with knowledge. In the words of KRS-One, knowledge reigns supreme. So you want to make sure you have the knowledge you need to navigate the world. Be aware of what's going on, whether it be for yourself as an individual, whether it be just in your neighborhood because you know the climate, or whether it just be to survive. Sometimes it's hard to survive, no matter where you live. Okay, now I love that we're having this conversation. This is very refreshing. I love that we all can get together today and really just talk about it because, believe it or not, this is a big deal. This is a really big deal. So, before we even get into more, I want to open the floor to you guys and ask you, are there any famous celebrities that you know of that are from Connecticut that are Black or that you or other people identify as Black? Yes, Dee said we need the facts. We need the facts. You don't want to walk around people
Are
asking
you
you
dumb?
because you're not. A lot of people try to equate being Black to synonymous with being dumb, but guess what? You're not. You're not dumb. Black does not mean dumb. In fact, a lot of Black women are exceeding in obtaining degrees, whether they be master's or bachelor's degrees. So it's considered the most Black women are considered the most educated group right now. So by no means are we dumb. But I want to ask you guys, who do you think as a celebrity? Are there any celebrities that you identify as Black that are from the state of Connecticut? I just want to give it a little time. Now, I can answer for you, but I want to give you the floor because I want to hear your voice. I want to interact with, well, not your voice, but I want to see what's on your mind. And I want to interact with our audience to make sure that, number one, you're still listening, but number two, that your thoughts and your feelings are represented here. Okay, if there's nobody, I can tell you. But okay, I'm gonna give you like 10 more seconds just to think about it. And I want to know in the chat what women or men whom are Black, that are celebrities, are representing Connecticut right now, or people that you believe are Black are from the state of Connecticut. I can tell you some of the most common ones. For starters, every time I ask somebody on social media, who's a Black person, name a famous Black person or a famous celebrity from Connecticut, they say, okay, since you guys aren't going to guess it, I'm going to let you know. They say Cassie. So in this instance, we're going to talk about Cassie. She's from New London, Connecticut, and this is the Black representation that we currently have. When I ask a majority of Black people in Connecticut who they consider to be Black, repping Connecticut or from Connecticut in the public eye, or celebrities, famous people, I would probably host. So, if you don't know, her name is Cassie Ventura, and she's from New London, Connecticut. She's a New Londoner. Now, do we have anyone in the building from New London, Connecticut, or from that area? I mean, well, even if we don't, shout out to New London. Shout out to New London, Connecticut. Moving on. Um, Her name is Cassie Ventura. And again, since we're talking about Black people, is anyone in the chat who identifies as Black or who is Black or Black American, African, African American? Are you related to the Venturas? You know, it's interesting because, I think it's interesting because I know that that name is very common. It could be Ventura, it could be Ventura, not sure. However, I know that that name is very common, but it's not necessarily common in the Black community. So we want to go over this because this is Cassie here, and to the left, she's here with